not doing nothing but listening, and this time we're going to have you be part of the story.
Yay! Yay!
This book comes from story I'm sorry. It's called The Boy from the Dragon Palace, and if you're close enough, you can see he's picking his nose. He's actually not picking his nose. He's going like this. How many of you have ever had a cold and you didn't have a Kleenex handy? What did you do? Use your sleeve. Use your sleeve. All right. Well, we're going to do something like that here. All right. May I have your attention? We have to practice your assignments for the story. You don't have to study. You know how to do all this, I have a feeling. Pretend like you have a bowl full of food in front of you, and you kind of go like this. All right. Excellent. The second thing you're going to do is to pretend like you're snotting into your right sleeve. And then you're snotting into your left sleeve. And then I want you to sneeze 3 times. All right. Or you can make it even more interesting if you want. And just silence for a second. Those 3 steps all go together one after the other. So we're going to do them fluidly together. First eating, then snotting, then sneezing. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Now, you're only going to do it once through every time you do it. Got it?
Only once. Okay.
Every time we do it once through, and then we stop. We don't keep sneezing, or we'll never get to the end of the story.
Guys.
Once upon a time, there was a poor flower seller. And one day he had sold all of his bouquets except for one. And he knew that this bouquet of flowers would not last the next day. They wouldn't be able to sell them. So he decided to give them as an offering to the Dragon King who lived beneath the waves. He lifted the bouquet to his nose and smelled them one more time, and then he flung them on the top of the waves. And he called out, "An offering to the Dragon King," and watched as they disappeared beneath the waves. Almost immediately, coming from underneath, rose a woman, the most beautiful woman he had ever seen. And the woman was holding a small child in her arms. "And in return," she said, "the Dragon King has a gift for you." She held out the child, and the flower seller felt compelled to take the child, and when he got the child closer, he realized the child had the snottiest nose he'd ever seen. He said, "What am I to do with this snot-nosed child?" The woman said, "You are to feed the child shrimp cooked with vinegar, cooked with sugar every day, and he will bring you luck." And with that, she sank into the waves. Well, Flower Seller took the child home to his small hut, and then he got the last of his coins, went to the market and bought shrimp. He cooked the shrimp with vinegar, he cooked it with sugar, he put it in a bowl, and he gave it to the small child, and the small child went. And there at his feet was a pile of gold coins. Well, said the flower seller, "I was just going to say that I had used my last coin and the luck better start. And look, I didn't even have to ask. There is my luck." There was enough gold to buy himself some fish and rice the next day, and of course, more shrimp for the snot-nosed child. Every day, that's the way it went. He cooked the shrimp with vinegar put it in a bowl and gave it to the child, and the child went. At the end of the week, the flower seller thought, it's nice having those little toys, but perhaps I could ask for something else. And so that night, after he cooked the shrimp with the vinegar and the sugar, but before he gave it to the child, he said, you know, I've always lived in my little hut alone, and it's rather crowded with you. Wouldn't it be nice if we lived in something more palatial? He gave the bowl to the child, and he went, and before his eyes, his hut grew and grew until it was a mansion. There were silken cushions everywhere, crystal chandelier, and fine clothes for the flower seller to wear. This could be just what I need. So the very next day, after he cooked the shrimp with the vinegar and the sugar, he said, a place like this really needs servants. And before their eyes, the door opened and it came a parade of servants, including a cook. Well, the next day, the flower seller, it dawned on him, I've got a cook. I don't have to make the shrimp anymore. So he told the chef, the cook, everything he had to do. He had to cook the shrimp with the vinegar and the sugar, and the cook did exactly what he was told, but when he put the food in front of the snot-nosed child, he refused to eat it. Oh? Yes. So the flower seller had to continue cooking the shrimp. But that didn't stop him from asking for more things. He asked for a fish pond full of golden fish. He asked for a chest full of rubies and emeralds and diamonds. He asked for musicians and actors and dancers to entertain him. He asked for the finest and newest video games. He got everything he asked for. After many months of this, the flower seller got tired. Tired of cooking the shrimp. Tired of looking at that snot nose of the child. And he thought to himself, why do I need to do this anymore? I have everything I need. So he picked up the child, took him outside, put him on the road, and said, go back to where you came from. I'm done with you. Oh. He went back to the house. There on the side of the road, the little snot-nosed boy shook his head sadly. Then he snotted into his right sleeve. And just like that, the mansion shrank back to the hut as before. And the flower seller was as poor, if not poorer, than he'd ever been before. And down beneath the waves, the Dragon King was waiting. He was sitting at a table eating when the snot-nosed child appeared next to him. Those humans, said the snot-nosed child, they are never satisfied. He reached for a bowl of shrimp. The Dragon King said, yes, I understand. And the snot-nosed child said, you know, he never once said that. And that's the story of the boy from